Welcome everyone to the first ever unofficial national countdown round. We want to start off by thanking title sponsor Raytheon Technologies for supporting not only impactful but fun events like this one today. For those of you who may not be as familiar with what Raytheon Technologies does, we wanted to start this event with a very short video that shares with you the more broad mission of Raytheon Technologies.
Every day, the future unfolds. And every day, we rise to meet it. Pushing farther. Thinking bigger. Creating technologies that are ready for today's challenges. And forging tomorrow's path. That help propel, protect, and perform above all. Every day, the future unfolds. For our customers and our world. We know because every day, we're helping to build it. Raytheon Technologies, the future of aerospace and defense.
Our supporters at Raytheon Technologies know that to solve the big problems of tomorrow, we need to inspire the critical thinkers of today, the young thinkers of today, our middle school students. And that's what brings us here together for this event. Moving the national competition event online meant that we had to do a lot of changes, but we are going to embrace the opportunities that an unofficial countdown round affords us. Here is the exciting format that we have planned for our event today. Instead of 12 students, we have identified 16 students who will be participating in a bracket format countdown round. From the students who indicated they would be eager to participate, we selected 4 students from each of 4 regions: the Northeast, West, South, and Midwest. So students at home, check out our list over there and see where your state fits into these 4 regions. That'll tell you who you're really rooting for today. Note that no scores from this morning's written round were taken into consideration when selecting our participants. All right, let's meet our 16 participants in today's fun countdown round. Representing the Northeast, we have Angelina Zhao from Virginia, Ella Martinez Nochito from Maine, Alex Acosta from the District of Columbia, and Rohan Sastry from New York. Representing the South, we have Hadley Green of Mississippi, Varun Gala from Louisiana, Joyce Hu from West Virginia, and Stephen Yang of Georgia. Now for the West, we have Ashley Hong from Hawaii, Catherine Perez from the Department of Defense, Evan Lim of Nevada, and Yulie Escobar from Alaska. And finally, for the Midwest, we bring in Arnesh Sharma of Kansas, Dahlia Adanasova from North Dakota, Jonathan Oler of Wyoming, and Elita Yu from Michigan. Let's see if we can get all 16 players up on our screen so we can see everybody. They have been so patient in the waiting room for the last half hour. Hey, everybody, you've got your backgrounds up. It's great to see you. The written is done. I know that was a bear this morning. You had to answer such difficult questions. These should be a lot easier for you guys. It's time to relax and have a great time. We've already gone over the rules, the 17 of us. So I'm going to go ahead and release you guys from the screen so you can get ready for when we call you up, and I will share the rules with our audience. I am going to read a question and it will show up on the screen, and the students have been told that if I misspeak, the question that they are seeing on the screen is the official question. They will have 45 seconds to answer the question, and we will give them a 10-second warning when 10 seconds remain. Once the competitors have solved the problem, we're going high tech here, and we've asked them to clap in front of their faces so that I can see that and know that they have an answer for me. I will call on them. We've asked them not to announce their answer until they've been called on. For our students at home, hopefully you've opened up, I believe we're on pack 11, You have your fun buzzers that we sent you, so you can buzz along right in and play. So we encourage you to do that. Once I call on our official competitor who is clapped in, they will have 3 seconds to complete their answer. If they get the answer incorrect, their opponent has the remainder of the 45 seconds to continue working, to clap in, and then to give me their answer. The student who will advance is the one who gets the most out of the first 3 questions correct. Should we have a tie after 3 questions, either 0-0 or 1-1, we will go into sudden victory, and the students have been warned that those questions may be a little corny and they should try to win in the first 3. Now, I should also mention that our audience at home can play along. For our students and coaches in the audience at home, you've got your buzzer, go ahead and buzz in. But I also encourage you to use the question and answer feature on Zoom for the first question of each head-to-head matchup. Try to get your correct answer in before our 2 students on screen. The first student to get the right answer in, if before one of our two competitors answers it, will be the winner of that round. We won't be able to announce you live here, but we will post your name on the announcements page at 7 o'clock tonight. And anyone who wins one of those gets a $10 gift card. And then just to make this even more exciting, whoever our champion is, whatever region they come from, all 14 states or all 56 competitors from that region will also win $10 gift cards. So please make sure you are cheering loudly from home. Those are our rules. We are ready to begin. Let's go ahead and bring up our first 2 competitors. All right, we have Ashley Hong from Hawaii, and we have Angelina Zhao from Virginia. Again, hey guys, thank you for being so patient backstage. Ashley, I'll go ahead and ask you to make sure you're unmuted and you can introduce yourself for us.
Hi, my name is Ashley Jisoo Hong, and I'm from Hawaii.
Ashley, you let us know that you like to learn new languages, and I wanted to ask you, what other languages do you know, or are you learning right now?
I speak Korean, English, Chinese, Japanese, and I'm learning German and some other few right now.
Oh my goodness, I was expecting 1 or 2 languages. That is completely amazing. Have you ever traveled somewhere where you've gotten to use those languages that you're learning new?
Yes, I've been to America, Korea, China, Japan, and yeah.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, and we got to connect. I want to hear about these travels. All right, Angeline, would you go ahead and make sure you're unmuted and introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name is Angelina Chow, and I'm from Virginia, and I'm in 8th grade.
Great. Now, you told us that you are an anchor on your school's morning news show. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so do you have to read a script? Because I'm really curious how you do that. Are you good at that, like reading and looking at the camera? And I'm having a really hard time with this.
Yeah, I do have to read a script. So we have a script for every day's show, and I just read off that. I would say I'm pretty good at it.
All right, what's the name of it? Go ahead and give a plug for your morning news show. What's the name of it?
Should I just do the intro? Okay, so this is part of our intro. Good morning and welcome to LMS, Longfellow's Morning Show, the announcement and information program to get you going in the morning. It's LMS on LITV Channel 6. So that's part of the intro.
Okay, so what you're telling me is you don't need a script because you memorize everything. I am even more impressed. So thank you, Angeline. All right, Ashley and Angeline, can I just get you, normally we check buzzers. Can I check your clapper? Can you just, let me see your clapping. All right, Ashley. All right, I can see that. That is going to work. Okay, we are now ready for our first question of the matchup. Remember, audience, you can play at home. Here we go. Our first question is, Bob earns $20 an hour and Rob earns $30 an hour. Bob worked 7 hours more than Rob, but they earn the same amount of money. How many hours did Bob work? Angeline.
14.
14 is not the correct answer. Ashley.
21.
21 is the correct answer. Nice job. So Ashley jumps out to a 1-0 lead. We're only one question in. We're about to go to question number 2, and here is the question. How many positive 2-digit multiples of 4 have at least one digit that is a 2? Angeline.
9.
9 is not the correct answer.
Okay.
10 seconds. Ashley.
8.
8 is the correct answer. So Ashley wins that round with a score of 2-0. Angeline, thank you so much for playing. Ashley, great job. You were both good clappers. We didn't know how that would work. Ashley moves ahead in our bracket, and we are now ready for our next matchup between Hadley Green and Arnesh Sharma. Hey, Hadley. Hey, Arnesh. Good to see you guys again. Hadley, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Hadley Green. I'm an 8th grader from Mississippi.
All right, Hadley, you told us you like to ski, and I am guessing you don't do a lot of skiing in Mississippi. Am I right?
Yes, I mean, I don't think there's a single ski place in Mississippi, but we have some relatives in Michigan, and then my grandparents used to live in Washington State, so we've skied there and a couple of other places, but it's all, yeah, I don't do it that often, like maybe once a year, just because we have to travel for it.
Yeah, I understand. So I was going to ask you, are you like the green, the blue, the double black diamonds? What are we talking here?
I can ski some single black, but I don't think I've ever skied a double black.
Okay, yeah, I feel like if I got on that, it would be totally by accident. So can you just give me a clap? Let's make sure we can see that well. Thank you for testing your clapper. I like that. Okay, for Arnesh, would you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, I'm Arnesh Sharma. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm from Kansas.
Okay, so Arnesh he was a little worried about what question we might ask him. I'm telling you, Arnesh, this is an easy one. You said that your favorite color changes once a week. And the day that you answered our question, it was pewter. So I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite color today?
Today it's pretty basic. It's just blue because that was the color of my calculator for the target round.
Great answer. Great answer. I was hoping you'd go with math counts purple, but we'll go with blue. I like it. Arnesh, could we see you clap, please? All right, that works. We are ready. We're going to head into the first question of our matchup. Remember, audience members, you can play at home, getting it in on the question and answer feed. And here is the question. If the quantity x plus 3 over the quantity x minus 4 equals 2, what is the... Oh, Arnesh. Say that again.
11.
11 is the correct answer. 11 is the correct answer. Wow, holy smokes. Okay, so we have a score of 0 to 1. We're going to go into question number 2, and that question is, how many perfect squares are factors of 256? Hadley.
4.
4 is not the correct answer. Arnesh?
5.
5 is the correct answer. Congratulations. So Hadley, thank you so much for playing. It was so nice to meet you. Arnesh, great job. You're going to go on to the next round. And here's a look at our bracket. So now we're going to bring up Varun and Catherine. Hey, good to see you guys again. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Varun, would you mind going first?
Hi, I'm Varun Gala, and I'm in 8th grade from Louisiana.
Varun, you told us that you enjoy hiking. I just wanted to know if you could tell us about your favorite hiking experience.
I have a lot. I like the Atchafalaya here. And actually, I also I like the Appalachians.
Oh, wow. Like how long, like what was your longest hiking trip?
Longest, not that long, maybe
No.
like 8 miles.
Okay, yeah, that's long. That would be long to most of us. All right, well, thank you for sharing that. Catherine, can I go ahead and have you introduce yourself?
I'm Catherine Perez, and right now I'm living in Germany, but I'll be moving soon to Georgia.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so I knew that you were in Germany. We actually have students from literally all over the country here because we do have Department of Defense and State Department students. Okay, so you're moving back to Georgia. Is there something you're looking forward to when you move back to the States?
Everybody's speaking English.
So have you learned much German?
I've taken 2 German classes at my school for high school credit.
Okay, all right. Well, it'll be great to have you back. It sounds like Germany is a cool place to live, though. What time is it there, just out of curiosity?
9:30.
9:30. Okay. I know when we talked to Catherine the other day to get ready for this, it was 2:30 in the morning. So, Catherine, thank you for fitting us in. All right, let's practice our clapping. Varun, can I just see what it's going to look like? Oh, that's going to work. And Catherine? Perfect. Okay, here we go. We are ready for our first question. Remember, mathletes and coaches, you can play along at home on the first one of the round. Here is our first question. A right triangle has legs. Oh, Varun. 10 is the correct answer. Nicely done. All right, so we already have a score of 1-0 with one question down. We're going to go to our second question, and that question is, what is the median of the following set of data? Catherine? Time, I'm sorry, 3 seconds is up. Oh, Catherine, did you say something?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it. What did you say?
6.5.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. 10 seconds. Varun.
6.
6 is the correct answer. So Varun wins that matchup with a score of 2-0. Catherine, thank you so much for playing. We really enjoyed talking with you over the last few days. Great job, Varun. And we can now take a look at our bracket and see how that's shaping up. And we can call to the screen Ella and Dahlia. Hey, Ella. Hey, Dahlia. Good to see you again. Ella, would you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Hello, my name's Ella. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm from Maine.
Ella, you told us that you really wanted to meet. If you could have lunch with anyone, it would be Ursula Le Guin. Am I saying that correct? All right, so I went and looked it up. I don't think I've read any books from Ursula. Would you go ahead and tell me maybe what is your favorite book? What would you recommend the first book be that you read from this author?
Probably A Wizard of Earthsea, which is the first book in her Earthsea cycle, which is the series of books that I really love by her.
Okay, in one sentence, what's kind of the idea in the book, the main gist?
They're really a bunch of interconnected stories, but it's kind of like the continuing world in this kind of cool fantasy universe.
Okay, so this sounds like something I need to read throughout the whole summer. It's a series I need to get. So this sounds very good. Thank you, Ella. Yeah. Ella, can I just see you clap so I can be sure I can see it well? All right, there we go. Thank you. And Dahlia, hey there, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dahlia.
Okay, and you kind of glitched for a second, but I think I can see you back. You mentioned that you can pick locks and combinations and that you actually have a professional set to do this. What exactly is included in a professional set?
I can show you if you want. It's just, well, in my set, there are about 20 different types of lock picks that you can use for various locks. And then there's a hand wrench.
And what got you into this? And I would almost be even more shocked, but there's actually a person I work with who's into this too. Like, what made you pick this hobby up?
Well, I had a bike lock that was on a bike, and I had to sell the bike. Except that I wanted to keep the lock, so I had to figure out a way to get the lock off the bike. And after I figured that out, it just started to become more and more interesting.
Well, there's a problem solver for you right there. And I'm sure your escape room teammates were happy to have you in their room. All right, so Dahlia, could I just see you clap too so I can see it? Perfect. Okay, we are ready to go to question number 1 of our matchup. And remember, audience, you can play at home. Here is the question. Hugo is making cookies from a recipe that requires 2 cups of sugar for 3 dozen cookies. How many cups of sugar will Hugo need to make 10 dozen cookies? Ella.
6 1/3.
6 1/3 is not the correct answer. How many cups of sugar will Hugo need to make 10 dozen cookies? Dahlia?
6 2/3.
6 2/3 is the correct answer. Yep, Dahlia, good job. We have a score of 1-0 after just one question. And the next question is, Cameron's favorite number is negative, and its square is 529. What is Cameron's favorite number? Dahlia.
Negative 23.
Negative 23 is the correct answer. So Dahlia gets the win there with the score of 2-0. Ella, thank you so much for joining us. I've loved getting to talk to you over the last few days. Congratulations, Dahlia. We're going to take a look at our bracket and see how that's shaping up. And we're now going to move to the right side. And let's bring up Jonathan and Evan. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Evan. Jonathan, would you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Hello, I am Jonathan, and I'm from Wyoming.
Wyoming. Jonathan, you said you like bears. What is the closest you've ever been to a live bear?
Between some air and a car wall.
So like, have you actually seen a live bear, like out and about, other than the zoo? Okay.
Well, I've seen a live bear, but it was pretty much in a zoo.
Okay, I like those kinds of bears too. All right, so Jonathan, can I just see your clap so I'm sure I can see it well? That's gonna work well. Okay, and Evan, would you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Hi, I'm Evan, and I'm from Nevada.
All right, Evan, you told us you like things that begin with the letter B. And to practice how well you handle stress for this countdown round, I'm going to ask you to pick your favorite between 2 things that both begin with the letter B.
Okay.
Okay. The best fruit, bananas or blueberries?
Bananas, more than blueberries.
Okay. Sport, baseball or bowling?
Neither.
No, that's not the right answer. Okay. And favorite fictional character, Batman or Bart Simpson?
I'll go with Bart Simpson because his name sounds better, but I don't know too much about either of them.
Okay, well, you're doing well. I think you're ready for the countdown round. Let me just see your clap so I can make sure it's where I can see it. That's a good one. Okay, we are ready for question number 1 in our matchup. Remember, audience, you can play at home. And the first question is, A grocer buys apples for $3.60 per dozen and then sells 3 apples for $1. How many dollars does the grocer profit? Evan?
7.
7 is not the correct answer. How many dollars does the grocer profit on 10 dozen apples? Jonathan?
Is it $4?
$4 is the correct answer. So Jonathan gets out to a 1-0 lead after one question, and we will go to question 2. And that question is, what is the value of 6 factorial times 4 factorial divided by 5 factorial? Evan?
144.
144 is the correct answer. So Evan ties it up after 2 questions. We have a score of 1-1. And our next question is, what is the median of the first 10 prime numbers? Jonathan?
Is it 12?
12 is the correct answer. What a matchup. So Jonathan wins our matchup 2-1. Congratulations. Evan, thank you so much for playing. We're going to take a look now at our bracket. Jonathan's going to move to the next round here, and we're going to call up Alex and Joyce. Hey, Alex. Hey, Joyce. Alex, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Alex Acosta from the St. Albans School in DC.
Okay, and Alex, if you can just get a little closer to your microphone, if at all possible. I can hear you, but that'll just make it a little better. We asked students like what they felt like they could talk about easily for 20 minutes. And Alex, I think you said Star Wars. And I wanted to ask you the big question. Would you recommend, for someone who has never seen a Star Wars movie, would you recommend watching them in the order they were made or in the order that they are chronologically in their story?
I think that the order that they were made is preferable, although there is also another order called machete order, which I prefer, and it skips around a lot. It's kind of confusing to explain, but look up Star Wars machete order, and yes, I'd recommend that.
Okay, I will look that up. I've seen them all, but I can watch them all again in a different order. All right, thank you. And Joyce, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Joyce. I'm from Suncrest School, and I'm from West Virginia.
Okay, Joyce, you said that you would like to become a doctor or a pharmacist, and that you are able to correctly diagnose patients in medical dramas. I wanted to know, what is your favorite medical drama?
Probably The Good Doctor, because Grey's Anatomy is kind of all over the place.
I have to agree with you. It is all over the place. So, all right. So you're pretty good at this already. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you go on to become a doctor. That would be fantastic. All right. Actually, we never practiced clapping. Alex, can I just see your clap? That'll work. And Joyce? Perfect. I can see both of those. Okay, here we go. First question of the matchup. Remember, audience can play at home. And here is the first question. What is the sum of the numerator and the denominator when 3/51 is expressed? Alex?
18.
18 is the correct answer. So Alex jumps out to a 1-0 lead. We're going to go to question number 2. And that question is, it takes Jordan 1.5 hours to walk 5 miles. Joyce?
4.5.
4.5 is the correct answer. So we have a score of 1-1 after 2 questions. We will now go to question 3. And that question is, what is the sum of the digits of 2021 when written in base 2? Joyce? Joyce?
8.
8 is the correct answer. So I like the problem solving Joyce. Joyce is wearing a shirt that has 2021 written in base 2. What are the odds? Hey, Alex, thank you so much for joining us. It was great to see you again. So we have Joyce moving along. We've taken a look at our bracket, and let's welcome Elita and Steven to the screen. Hey, Elita. Hey, Steven. Elita, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Elita Yu. I'm an 8th grader from Michigan.
Okay, and Alicia said that she could talk for 20 minutes very easily about penguins. If you can only talk for, okay, what if it was narrowed down to 15 seconds? What would you tell us about penguins?
Well, penguins are mostly found in the southern hemisphere. The only penguins that can be really found in the northern hemisphere are the Galapagos penguins from the Galapagos Islands, but the Galapagos Islands are still mostly in the southern hemisphere. And it's mostly because bears, like polar bears, they're really scary. Like there's something that's like, if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's a polar bear, that you're dead already. So I think
so I think it was Jonathan who liked bears. We need to tell him. Okay, so Alita, that's awesome. Did you just kind of stumble on this liking penguins, or was this like an assignment and you started to learn a little bit and then you got really into it?
I got a stuffed penguin when I was 7 years old, and after that, I just kind of liked penguins.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, thank you, Alita. Stephen, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Stephen. I'm an 8th grader from Georgia.
Okay, Stephen, you told us that you like speed cubing, and debate. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, a cube question first. Do you prefer the 3x3x3 or the 5x5x5?
3x3.
Okay, so now if you were in a debate and I made you take the position that you preferred the 5x5, what is the first rationale you would give for that being the best?
There's less luck in 5x5.
Oh, less luck? There's luck in a 3x3 solving?
There's luck in all of them, but because the 3x3 is much more simple, luck can make a much bigger difference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're calling it simple and I'm not, but I'll take your word for it. Thank you, Stephen. I think it's pretty hard. Okay, let's go to the first question of our match. Oh no, clapping. Alita, can I see it? All right, Stephen. All right, that's going to work. Okay, now we're ready for our first question. Remember, students and coaches can play along at home, get those answers in the Q&A feed. Our first question is, what is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by Stephen?
18.
18 is the correct answer. Congratulations. So Stephen jumps out to a 1-0 lead, and we go to our second question. The question is, if n is a digit such that the 5-digit number 7n, n is a multiple of 6, what is the greatest possible value of n? I think Alita got in there quick. Alita?
8.
8 is the correct answer. So Alita ties it up after 2 questions. We have a score of 1-1, and we will now go to question 3, and that question is, on Monday, Taya harvested 220 bales of hay in her field, 44 of which, Stephen?
5/11.
Yes, 5/11 is the correct answer. So Stephen wins that matchup 2-1. Alita, thank you for playing with us. Thank you for being a willing and excited participant. Stephen, congratulations. You're going to move on in the bracket. And we are now going to do our final matchup of the first round. Let's have Yulie and Rohan to the screen, please. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. All right, Yulie, could you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
My name is Ulysses Escobar. My nickname is Yulie. I go to Stellar Secondary School in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm in 8th grade.
Okay, I think living in Alaska is pretty cool, but I do want to ask you, what is probably like the biggest misconception about Alaska or about living in Alaska?
About Alaska, I guess it's not necessarily like cold all the time. We might think that since Alaska is like so high, it's cold all the time. But I guess the most important like piece of knowledge in Alaska is that it's like half of the year it's really sunny, and the other half of the year it's really dark. To be honest, so.
Okay, and have you lived there like your whole life, or did you move there recently?
No, very recently. Yeah,
Oh,
like the last year.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh. So did it take a while to get used to, or are you still getting used to it?
I think I've gotten used to it, but it was it took a while at first. Like it was a big change from where I come from, but then I've gotten used to it now.
Sure. So where did you move from?
Actually, all the way from Saudi Arabia. So,
oh, this is a big move. Okay. Well, Yulie, we are so happy to have you from Alaska. And again, I know some of these times have been a little crazy for you, so thank you for making yourself available. All right, Rohan, good to see you. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Rohan. I am from New York, and I'm in the 8th grade.
Okay, so Rohan, you told us that you like crosswords and you like the spelling bee. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think was like the hardest word that you've ever gotten that you like somehow pulled it out and got it right?
In the crossword?
Oh, in the spelling bee. Sorry, in the spelling bee.
Oh, the spelling bee? Oh, I'm talking about the New York Times spelling bee, if that wasn't clear.
Oh, what's that? What is that?
It's a game where you have like 7 letters and one in the center, and you have to like make words out of those 7 letters, and you can repeat letters, but you have to use the one in the center. So yes,
I have to look this up. Okay, my family will tell you I am terrible at crosswords. Maybe I could do this. I'll have to give it a try. Rohan, can you show me your clap? Oh, that works. Yulie, can I see yours, please? I can see it. That works great. Okay, let's go on to our matchup. We're going to do our first question. Remember, students and coaches can play at home. And our first question is, a librarian wants to pick 4 out of 8 books to display in a single row on a shelf. How many distinct arrangements can she make? Rohan?
1,680.
1,680 is the correct answer. Nicely done. That was really close. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to question number 2. And the question is, what is the sum of the distinct prime factors of 585? Rohan?
21.
21. 21 is the correct answer. Holy smokes. Rohan wins this matchup in record time with a score of 2-1. Yulie, it was great to see you. Thank you for sharing with us. Rohan's going to go on to the next round. And here we go. We're going to start our second round. Let's go ahead and bring back Ashley and Arnesh. All right, Ashley, can I see the clap real quick? Okay, and can you just say hello just so I'm sure you're not on mute?
Oh, hello.
That works. All right, and Arnesh, can I see your clap? All right, and I didn't hear it, so can you say hello too?
Hello.
Okay, we're not on mute. It's going to work. All right, first question of our matchup. And the first question is, what is the sum of the positive integers whose squares are greater than 220 and less than 390? Arnesh?
85.
85 is the correct answer. Nicely done. So we have a score of 1-0 after just one question. And our second question is, it has a visual. Line A is parallel to line B. What is the value of X? Arnesh?
165.
165 is the correct answer. Arnesh, nicely done with the score of 2-0. Ashley, great job. Great job in the first round. I'm so glad you made it to 2 and I got to see you again. Thank you for playing. All right, let's take a look at our bracket. We're going to bring up Varun Gala and let's get Dahlia back on the screen. There they are. Okay, Varun, let's see the clap. Oh, I didn't see it. There we go. I didn't hear it, so say hello real quick.
Hello?
All right, you're not muted. And Dahlia, could you also just say hello and clap for us?
Hi.
Okay, I heard that. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go to our first question. Remember, students and coaches, you can play this one too. And our first question is, the ratio of 7th graders to 8th graders on Varun?
20.
20 is the correct answer. 20 is the correct answer. We will post a video of this so everyone else can go back and read the question. Varun, nicely done. We are going to go to question number 2, and the question is, what is the greatest 4-digit integer whose digits are distinct prime numbers? Varun.
7532.
7532 is the correct answer, and you did get that in time. That is incredible. Varun, thank you very much. Dahlia, great to see you. Great job this weekend. And thank you for playing. So Varun's going to move on. We're going to go on to our next matchup between Jonathan and Joyce. All right, Jonathan, did you hear that about bears and penguins? Be careful. All right, Jonathan, can I see your clap? It works. All right, and Joyce. All right, and can you just say hello because I didn't hear the clap? Just want to make sure you're not muted.
Hello?
Okay, that works. All right, here we go. Our first question of the matchup is, in the figure, points R, S, and P are collinear, with RS equal to QS equal to PS, and the measure of angle QSP is 80 degrees. What is the measure of angle PQR in degrees? Jonathan.
Or did she, was she clapping?
No, you clapped first.
Okay, so 90.
90 is the correct answer. Nicely done, Jonathan, and thank you for making sure. I appreciate that. So yes, Jonathan clapped first. He got that answer in. He has a score now of 1-0. We go to question number 2, and that question is, if A equals 1 cubed plus 2 cubed plus 3 cubed, and B equals the quantity 1 plus 2 plus 3 all squared, what is the value of A minus B? Jonathan?
Is it 0?
It is 0. So Jonathan wins this matchup. Nicely done with a score of 2-0. Joyce, great job. Great job this weekend and today. Thank you for playing. We're going to take a look at our bracket. All right. We just have one more matchup in this round. Let's get Stephen and Rohan back up. All right, Stephen. Can I see it? And I can hear it too. That's perfect. Rohan. All right, Rohan, can you just say hello too?
Hi.
Okay, you are not muted. We are good. All right, let's go on to the first question of our matchup. Audience can play at home. And here is the question. The total time for Chris to drive from home to work and back home was 45 minutes. If the drive home, Stephen?
17.
That is not correct. If the drive home from work, Rohan?
28.
28 minutes is correct. Nicely done. So we have a score of 1-0 after just one question. And we're going to go on to our second question. And that question is, in a bag of 36 fruit candies, 10 are orange. If 2 candies are taken from the bag at the same time, what is the probability that both are orange? Express your answer. Rohan.
1 in 14.
1/14 is the correct answer. You just beat out Stephen. Stephen, I'm sure you had that answer too. Rohan, great job in getting that clap in. Rohan is now going to advance to the next level. And we are at our semifinals already. So we are going to pull Arnesh and Varun back to the screen. All right, Arnesh, can you just say hi so I know you're not muted? Oh, say hello real quick.
Hello.
That works. And Varun, can I hear you too?
Hi.
That works too. All right, here we go. First question of our first semifinal matchup. And the question is, two positive integers have a sum of 100. The difference between 1/8 of one number and 1/4 of the other number is 8. What is the smaller number?
seconds.
10 seconds. Varun?
8.
8 is not correct. Arnesh?
5.
Arnesh clapped. 5 is not correct either. The answer we were looking for is 12. The answer is 12. So no one gets that one. No worries. We've got lots more problems. Our second question is, if A pound B equals A plus B minus 1, what is the value of 5? Varun.
20.
20 is not the correct answer. What is the value of 5, pound 5, pound 5, pound 5, pound 5? Arnesh?
21.
21 is the correct answer. So Arnesh jumps out to a 1-0 lead. We still have question 3 though, and here is the question. The question is, if 3m minus 7 plus 5m equals, Arnesh?
4.
4 is the correct answer. So Arnesh pulls out a win there in 3 questions with a score of 2-0. Varun, incredible job. Great job today and all weekend. And Arnesh will be in our finals. Congratulations. So we have Arnesh in the finals, and let's see who else will join him. Let's bring back Jonathan and Rohan. All right, there they are. Okay, Jonathan, just say hello so I know you're not muted.
Hi.
That works. And Rohan, you too?
Hi.
Okay, perfect. All right, question 1 of our second semifinal match. Audience, you can play at home. Here we go. Here's the first question. Celia squared 2019, added 4 times 2019, added 4 more, and then took the square root of the total sum. Rohan.
6,057.
6,057 is not correct. When Celia completed this computation, what was the result?
Ten seconds.
10 seconds. Jonathan?
Is it 2021?
It is 2021. That is our answer. Way to use all that time, Jonathan, and check your work, I'm sure. So we have a score of 1-0 after just one question. And our second question is, what is the 20th term of the arithmetic sequence whose first 4 terms are 3, 11, 19? Rohan?
155.
155 is the correct answer. So Rohan ties it up with question 2. We now have a score of 1-1 heading into question 3. And the question is, a bag contains 7 red, 5 blue, and 4 gold buttons. 2 buttons are randomly selected without replacement. What is the probability that the first button is gold? Rohan?
6 and 35.
That is not the correct answer. What is the probability that the first button is gold and the second button is not gold? Express your answer as a common fraction. Jonathan?
Is it 1 and 5?
Yes, 1 and 5 or 1/5 is the correct answer. So Jonathan wins this matchup with a score of 2-1 after 3. Rohan, what a roll you are on. Thank you for playing. Great to see you. Congratulations. And I believe we are now down to our final 2 competitors. We have Arnesh and Jonathan. So let's go ahead and get them up here. Oh my gosh, Midwest wins. The pressure is off. That That is fabulous. All right, the Midwest people must have been cheering their hearts out. All right, so this is just for fun. This is just for a slightly bigger trophy. All right, so Arnesh and Jonathan, we're going to go right into our finals. Oh, what the heck. All right, Arnesh, let's see your clap. All right, unmute yourself maybe. Say hello?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, and Jonathan? There we go. All right. I'm so excited. Okay, our first question of our finals, audience, last one you can play at home, so get your answers in. Here we go. The question is, the expression, the quantity a cubed b to the fifth all cubed times the quantity a to the fifth b squared all over the quantity a to the fourth b to the ninth, can be written as the quantity a to the x b to the y raised to the fifth power. What is the value of x plus y? Arnesh?
5.
5 is the correct answer. Congratulations. I just wish you'd buzzed in earlier. That is a long problem to say. I was hoping I wouldn't have to go through that one. All right, congratulations. All right, we got a score of 1-0. All right, Jonathan, here we go. Question number 2 is, in triangle ABC, the measure of angle A is 25 degrees. The measure of angle, Arnesh?
55.
55 is the correct answer. So Arnesh, you are the winner of our super fun, first time ever, unofficial 2021 countdown round. Congratulations. That was quite awesome. I do want to thank all 16 of our participants for being willing to play along. It is hard to do this in front of millions. I'm sure there's millions of people out there, Arnesh. Great job on this. For those of you who are playing along at home, we will post, if any of you were able to beat our on-screen students. I don't know if we had any winners, but if there are, we will post them at 7 o'clock, so we encourage you to check that out. This wraps up our fun countdown round, and I really, really do want to thank the 16 participants who played. Not only did they play here, they met us in advance for a pre-meeting, and then they sat in a waiting room forever, so they were all awesome. So thank you so much to all 16 of them. We will see everyone else tonight at the grand finale of our program year, the closing ceremonies and awards. We will see you then.